7:45 p.m. I'm finally back home from walking Hallie to his house. Throughout the whole walk there, my mind raced about the events of today. Earlier today, when he handled the Jason situation all by himself, I didn't think he would be the kind of person to resort to such actions. But he did end up saving me after all. Then there's when he was taking care of my arm. My heart's never pounded that hard in my life. But why, though? Was it because of the fact that he didn't react as violently as I thought he would? That he didn't run away because of all this? What Monica told me about a week ago also ran through my mind, something about how these feelings I have were perfectly normal. For her sake, I hope she's right. And also something about trusting my instincts on whether something feels right or not. I'll have to remember that. I've been in this uniform for much longer than I'd like to be, which means it's time to change clothes and also think about dinner. I wish I could have stayed at Hallie's house for a bit, but he probably needs to get ready for school tomorrow. I'm so thankful for everything that he's done today, and how everything turned out in general. The contents of my bag scattered all over my living room floor ends up ripping me from my thoughts and back to reality. May as well clean up a bit. Once that's done and my bag is in my grasp, I walk up the stairs and enter my bedroom. Once I'm in, my nose feels funny as I drop my bag on the ground. It feels like I'm about to sneeze. It's not particularly dusty in here. It's just smells different from everywhere else in my house. Once the weird feeling on my face goes away, I proceed to grab the bottom part of my brown blazer, unbutton it, and bring it up to my face to inhale with notable force.
Aren't the blazers kind of gray? Or they wouldn't describe them as brown.
A rush of familiarity and excitement runs through my body. It smells just like him. It smells perfect. My mind begins racing at the thought of him, everything he's done for me today, and how close we were today. To hell with it. I'm leaving this on. I want this to last forever. I'll fall asleep to this, or tomorrow, have him be around me more. What he doesn't know won't hurt him. It's almost like what Monica said. This feels right. Excitedly walking over to my desk to grab my Ellie and Ramby plush, I collapse onto my bed and proceed to hold the two of them close to me. We did it, guys. Today was a success. He didn't run away or leave me. I'm so happy. That's when I begin to rock myself from side to side, hugging my friends tighter, as if I were holding onto him again, and then breathe a sigh of relief. I already can't wait to see him tomorrow. Oh. The muffled sound means my phone's still in my bag. Placing my friends near my pillow and getting up to retrieve my phone from my bag, I turn it on to see. It's him.
Hey, are you still feeling alright after today?
Oh, look at that, still looking after me. He's so cute. I can't help but beam as I lay on the floor, stomach down, and text my response to him. Oh yes, I'm much better now. Thanks again for everything. Send. I can't help but playfully kick both my feet in the air and giggle to myself while staring at my phone screen. I think I can feel my heartbeat increase a little bit in anticipation of what he has to say next. It's becoming a little bit difficult to keep my breathing in check, but I'm doing okay. The moment my screen comes to life with one new message, it takes me no time to open the message from him.
Of course, I'm so happy to hear that. I'm going to bed early tonight. See you tomorrow, babe.
He really called me that. I can't believe it. The adrenaline rush in me is real as I roll into my bag and respond to his text. See you tomorrow, darling. Heart. There. Bringing my phone close to my chest and hugging it. The idea of going to bed early as well doesn't seem too bad. It means I'd get to see him sooner, but at the same time I still have dinner and preparing for tomorrow to do. My mind continues to run freely as I blankly stare at my ceiling, still unsure what to do. Maybe some fresh air will help me think more clearly. Picking myself up from my floor, I walk over to my bedroom window, open it, and take in the fresh air while I stare at the starry night sky, letting my mind wander yet again. The cool breeze of the night makes me shiver a little bit, but it's not too bad. Thoughts of Hallie, today's events, and what he just sent me are seemingly never-ending. As I lay my elbow on the window frame and rest my head on my hand, I think I'm starting to become glassy-eyed by remembering part of a song from my childhood. And even though I know how very far apart we are, It helps to think we might be wishing on the same bright star. And when the night wind starts to sing a lonesome lullaby, it helps to think we're sleeping underneath the same big sky.
Yet another song I do not know. Chapter 9, Brick by Brick. Hey, that's the name of one of the songs in the Purist OST, isn't it? Thursday, October 14th, 2:58 p.m. Not gonna lie, this has probably been one of the slowest school days I've seen in a while. Having to point out individual clock ticks every second is not fun. There were some times today where I had to try my dangest to keep myself awake due to how boring today was. That was strange, because I got enough sleep last night. And it would seem like I don't because of all this dawn I do, but I gotta tell ya, I do my recordings after work, and it's not like I have a particularly strenuous job or anything, but by that time I'm usually due for a nap, and like, that's basically it. My body would rather be resting than doing this, but don't worry, because I'm still interested. It's not because I'm bored, it's just getting old. It sucks. That was strange, because I got out of sleep late. Overall, everything was pretty normal today. Me and Harry walked to school like usual. Wallace didn't say a word to us. Jason was nowhere to be found, probably due to his injuries, which I don't feel guilty about, and the two of us had lunch together in the classroom. She wanted some cuddle time together, to which I happily obliged. That was such a good time, I can't help but put a dumb smile on my face at the thought. Finally! I thought this day would never end! Lifting my head up from my desk with eyes slightly drowsy, I slowly pack up all my stuff as everyone else makes their way out before I do. Intonation. And then get up to leave. I got my stuff done for today. Thank goodness I don't have to worry about that later. There was a weird anticipating feeling while walking here, mainly about what Monica wants to talk about with us. As I make it to the top of the stairs, I continue on my way to the club, staring blankly at the ground, focusing on nothing in general. I do feel a little bad that I may have ruined her plans, but what happened with Yuri is more important. Oh no, is she gonna be angry with us? No, it would have to be super important for her to start yelling at us. Now wait, what about my book? Is Yuri gonna give that back to me, or is she still gonna hold on to it? Yeah, she might want to reread it or something.
Hallie!
My head immediately bolts upward at the voice I just heard. Huh? Yuri? As she flashes one of the cutest smiles I've ever seen, she walks completely past the clubroom door, slightly quickens her pace, and brings both her arms outward. Once I figure out exactly what's going on, I smile back at her and catch her as she impacts me. Her hugs are as warm as they always were, and her grip on me makes me all the happier. I guess it's just a big relief to see her act this way compared to what happened yesterday.
I missed you a little bit.
Okay, that I was not expecting. It's only been 2.5 hours. Speaking of which, Yuri never really acted this way when I first met her. I'm not complaining. Oh, I know how to get back at her. Once we release each other, I can't help but start blushing and look away from her. Oh yeah? Well, did you do something different today? Because you're more pretty than normal today. As she blushes and looks away, I can't help but do the same. It's a little embarrassing to say stuff like this, not gonna lie.
Oh, you. Ready to head to the club?
As I look over her way again, I reapproach her, grab her hand, and our fingers mesh. Of course. And with that, the two of us happily make our way to the club, even if it's a really short walk. After opening the door for Yuri, we both walk into the club, hand in hand. Taking a look around shows everyone here except for Natsuki. Huh, wonder where she ran off to. Actually, now that I think about it, this is my first time being back in the club after the festival, and the room looks like it's back to normal. Once I notice Monica getting up from her desk and walking towards the two of us, our hands return to each other, and my happiness ever so slowly diminishes at what she'll have to say.
Welcome back, you two.
I can already tell her tone of voice isn't as cheerful as I'm used to. She focuses her attention towards Yuri.
All better now, are we, Yuri?
As Yuri looks away nervously, it takes her a while before she responds back.
Yes. All better now. Mind if I ask what happened?
I kind of want to butt in and answer that for her, but I'm curious now.
I was just sick, that's all. And Hallie was chivalrous enough to take care of me in my time of need.
Oh my Christ, why does this girl make me blush so much? I mean, She's technically right, though. After seeing a small smile creep onto Yuri's face, Monica looks over my way. She goes to me to panic a little bit inside and look away as she'll show or see how red my face is, then back to Yuri.
Are you sure about that? Oh, I couldn't be any more sure.
God, can I just hug her again?
Very well then. Today's club meeting will be cut a little bit short because of an announcement I have to make before we leave. If you do need me for anything, you know where I'll be.
With that, she turns on her heel and walks back to wherever she was before. As I'm indirectly staring at whatever's in front of me, I can feel my hand being messed around with. Being broken out of my trance, I look over to Yuri, who looks like a light bulb just went off in her head. What could she be thinking of?
Hey, Holly. Go ahead and get our desks all set up for us and get my book all ready. I'll be at the restroom real quick.
Oh, well, okay, I guess that works too. Wait. A wee bit of excitement runs through me. Ooh, we're gonna start reading your book. Yuri happily nods.
I figured it's about time.
Gotcha. I'll stay here then. With that, she smiles warmly at me and turns around to leave their living room. Once she's out of sight, I turn around as well, walk over to her desk, and try not to make too much noise as I bring another desk close to hers. Once that's done, I take a seat at my desk, and my attention is then drawn to the sound of the door opening and Natsuki entering the room. Once she's inside, she walks over to where Monica's at and starts chatting with her. I could just say where Monica is. Don't need the at. Maybe I shouldn't mess with her today, considering how she was yesterday. Time to drown them out! Once I look away from the two of them, I set my backpack on my desk, look around for her book, and pull it out. It's been a while since I've last touched this, as I have to blow some dust off of it. As I'm holding it in my hands, its dark shade of purple on the cover draws me in as I stare at the picture in the middle and the royal-esque font. An unlikely hero. I still can't believe I've never heard of this before. A small flash of pink gets caught in my peripheral vision, which causes me to set the book down to see Natsuki walking past me to get to the closet. I can't help but look away from her out of nervousness. Is she still upset about yesterday? I thought I did okay with handling everything yesterday. Enough of that for now. Let's take a quick look before she gets here. A small smile appears at the thought of what I'm gonna do next. Lots of small smiles in this session. Flipping the book around to its backside, I open the book up backwards until I'm at the very last page and find a suitable spot to start reading near the very end of the story. Why are you reading it backwards? Shall we dance? He asks me, his voice still as tender and innocent as when I first met him. I would love nothing more. As I slowly approach him, I feel much more warm and comfortable as I place my hand in his. My other arm rests on his shoulder as he gently caresses me with his other arm. The night is still young, and so are we. It's beautiful. It's peaceful, both inside our castle and across the world now. It's just the two of us, close to each other. Placing my head on my hero's chest to feel his heartbeat makes me feel more safe than ever as we continue to dance in our ballroom. Even after everything, still more radiant than the sun, more dazzling than all the stars in the sky. We've been through so much together, but it's all over. Everything's all over. This is the happy ending I've wished for. Pulling away from my hero as our eyes lock with each other, I can feel all my doubts and fears being erased as he begins speaking gently. My darling, you have lived all these years in my heart. Now I have you again in my life. With my emotions shaking while feeling tears break through, we both close our eyes as we lean in to each other. The unexpected sound of the main entrance door knocking interrupts the two of us.
Holly?
Oh, she's back already.
What are you doing?
Oh. Oh boy. This is going to be fun to explain. Quickly closing the book and setting it on the desk, I nervously tap twice on her seat, as to motion her to sit down next to me. Well, it's, She takes a seat next to me, clearly expecting more out of me. Let's get this over with. I do this with nearly every book I read. Take a quick look at how the book ends, and then kind of keep that in mind when I start reading from the beginning. It's almost like a puzzle in some ways, trying to figure out how the events lead up to or tie into the ending. Kind of like how working backwards in some ways can be helpful. I don't know why I do it, as I usually forget about the ending when I'm like almost halfway done anyways. She doesn't seem too impressed, bro. There's an uncomfortable silence between me and her as I'm guessing the gears in her head are going haywire. After a little bit, her expression eases up.
You're so weird, Holly.
All the feelings of guilt and tension seem to dissipate after hearing her say that. I still can't put on a smile, though, as I feel like I should keep on talking. Sorry if I made you upset.
I guess it's alright, Hallie.
She takes the book away from me and opens the front cover, taking her respective side.
How about we start reading now?
I take a hold of my side of the book. From the beginning this time. She giggles a little bit as she flips the opening pages over.
You're still silly, you know.
I can't help but start giggling at her. Oh, stop it, you. She giggles once again and then flips over the first page. "20 minutes pass, and we've somehow made it past the first chapter. I still haven't quite figured out who this hero is that I saw at the end. A lot of guys were introduced at the beginning of the story. Maybe it was the well-respected older person who articulated his sentences very well. Maybe it was the black sheep of the bunch who stuttered every now and then. I'll figure it out eventually. Once we start reading the second chapter, the words in front of me start making less and less sense, and my focus seems to be shifting. The sound of footsteps is what ultimately catches my attention. Natsuki ends up making her way over to the two of us, which makes me feel nervous and not think of words properly. Her tone of voice doesn't make things any better.
Hey, Yuri. Glad to see you're feeling better.
Yes, I'm alright now.
The way she said that makes her sound more annoying.
What do we have going on over here?
We were just reading her book. Suddenly she puts one of her hands up to me like she's trying to shut me up or something.
I'm not talking to you.
Jeez, uncalled for much? In response, I let out a rather audible sigh as a non-verbal attempt of telling her how I feel, and lay my head down on my desk.
He and I are reading together. What do you want?
I guess both me and Natsuki weren't quite ready for Yuri's sudden tone change, as I continue to stay quiet and focus on listening.
Are you busy after today's meeting? I was wondering if you wanted to go to the bookstore and spend some time together, like friends should.
I can only guess that Yuri's thinking for a bit as my head's still down.
I don't know. We might have other plans for today.
If it helps, my dad gave me some extra spending money so that we could both buy a book. We both haven't spent time outside of school in a while.
I'll think about it, but you should already know my stance about manga.
I didn't even say anything about that!
Still, you'll probably end up dragging me to look at them and bore me to tears.
You don't know that!
Look, I'll contact you if I want to go. Now go away before you hurt anyone else's feelings.
Okay, I wasn't expecting that from her, again. Both me and Natsuki are left speechless again. But she ends up looking away in a defeated manner and walks back to the closet. Well, that was a very hostile conversation. Both sides. Yuri looks back at her side of the book, still with her annoyed face, to which I take a hold of her free hand and have my voice show some concern. Hey, you alright? Her grip on my hand becomes more tight as she takes a deep breath.
Yes, dear, I'll be fine.
A smirk appears on her face, seemingly out of nowhere.
Joke's on her. I don't have her number saved on my phone.
The both of us giggle at what she said. I know that sounds kind of mean, and I probably shouldn't laugh, but I can't help it.
Shall we continue?
Looking down at my hand in hers, and then back up to her, I smile at her as I'm starting to feel a little better. Yes, let's. Another 15 minutes pass, and I'm starting to lose focus on the words in front of me again. Nature's calling. Setting down my end of the book, much to Yuri's dismay, I look over to her, release my hand from hers, and tug on her right sleeve. Yuri? She looks over at me, considerably happier than before.
Yes, darling.
I like it when she calls me that. I'll be in the restroom, okay?
Of course. Don't be too long now.
Okay.
Okay, everyone.
Oh god, not now! My attention is drawn to Monica. I really don't want to interrupt her. But why does this have to happen now?
I've got an announcement for everyone, so gather around, please.
Instead of gathering around like everyone is, I walk up to Monica and tug on her sleeve, just like I did to Yuri a little bit ago. Monica? She turns around to face me, and I bet I have everyone's attention on me, which I really wish wasn't happening right now.
What is it?
Can this wait a bit? Restroom. Now. She looks at me like I said something wrong.
What?
Please!
Can't you hold it for like 2 minutes? Yeah, come on, this shouldn't be very long.
No, my insides hurt! That's when I point at her, yet still looking at Monica. Monica, she's being mean!
What? What? Sister, what would you mean? Natsuki, you shouldn't shout at Sayori like that.
Monica!
Oh my god, just go already.
Wait, right here? That'd be weird. Okay, yeah, this is weird. I leave the clubroom without another word. And we'll pick up with that awkward situation in the next session. That's gonna do it for our castle walls for now. So, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll pick up with more of this next time. Hope to catch you then. Bye-bye.